It's time to welcome Mr. Hari Mohan Gupta, Chairman and Managing Director of IRCON International Limited. His speech is about the reality of the Indian economy and investment climate in India.
Honorable President of India, Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, His Excellency Mr. Tayyab Jitoni, Minister of Trade and Export Promotion, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Laziz Fayed, Minister of Finance, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Arkab, Minister of Energy and Mines, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Kamel Badri, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Karim Bibi Triki, Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Ali Aoun, Minister of Industry and Pharmaceutical Production, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Youssef Sherfa, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Taha Derbal, Minister of Water Resource, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Mokhtar Didauchi, Minister of Tourism and Handicrafts, Government of Algeria, Her Excellency Madam Fazia Dahleb, Minister of Environment and Renewable Energy, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Yassin Al Mahdi Oiled, Minister of Knowledge Economy, Startups and Micro Enterprises, Government of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Tariq Belarabi, Minister of Housing, Urban Planning and City, Government of Algeria, Her Excellency Dr. Swati Kulkarni, Ambassador of India to Algeria, His Excellency Dr. Ali Achawi, Ambassador of Algeria to India, Mr. Kamal Maula, President of the Algerian Economic Renewable Council, Madam Mustafai Khwala from the Algerian Agency for Investment Promotion, leaders of Algerian corporate community, members of the business delegation, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon, everyone. I am Hari Mohan Gupta, Chairman and Managing Director of IRCON International Limited, Government of India Rail Infrastructure Company, and acting as leader of the business delegation. I feel privileged to address this august gathering of dignitaries and businessmen from the two countries, Algeria and India. The two countries share a robust partnership and see a positive future trajectory of diplomatic, economic, and cultural exchanges between the two nations. Algeria-India relations have always been cordial and friendly, based on mutual respect and understanding and free of any contentious issues. India was among the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Algeria immediately after independence in July 1962. In fact, India welcomed the opening of a representation of the provisional government of the Algerian Republic in New Delhi in 1959, that is 3 years even before independence. Our bilateral relations developed rapidly in the framework of the non-aligned movement around the ideas of independence, equitable international economic order, and South-South solidarity and cooperation. This period saw several visits at the heads of state and government level. More recently, the participation of the late President Abdelaziz Bouteflika as the guest of honor of 2001 India Republic Day constituted a milestone in the Algeria-India relations, a visit marked by the signing of a declaration for a partnership defining the central pillars of our bilateral relations, including a strategic segment. On the economic front, bilateral trade reached a peak of $2.9 billion in 2018, although it declined drastically to $1.5 billion in 2021 due to the impact of COVID-19 and import restrictions, strategies of Algeria arising from the Forex crisis. The trade now has reached a rebound by 24% in 2022 and reached $2.1 billion. Exports from India to Algeria during 22-23 were $613 million, which further increased to $848.16 million in 23-24. India's imports during 22-23 were $1.5 billion, and during 23-24 stood at $885.54 million. India's exports to Algeria consisted of rice, pharmaceutical products, polyethylene, terephthalate, granite, boneless meat, etc. India's imports from Algeria consisted largely of petroleum oils, liquefied natural LNG gas, natural calcium, phosphates, saturated methanol, and urea. The commercial relations between India and Algeria has seen higher level of engagements in recent years. Several major Indian companies have undertaken various infrastructural projects in power, construction, oil and gas, and IT, automotive and pharma sectors, including several EPC projects. Algerian Sonatrach signed a $1 billion contract with India's Larsen & Toubro to build plants to produce 14 million cubic meters of gas per day. Algerian organization Anesarif signed a $300 million contract with IRCON, my company, a company owned by the Ministry of Railways, Government of India, for construction of the railway line. During the pandemic, the collaboration and assistance from India in the area of COVID vaccine procurement was exemplary and was highly appreciated. India cleared commercial supply of paracetamol and hydroxychloroquine to Algeria in April and May 2020. External Affairs Minister and Algerian Foreign Minister Mr. Sabri Boukadam had a telephonic conversation on 25th January 2021, wherein they discussed commercial supply of COVID-19 vaccine. Subsequently, 50,000 doses of COVID-19 made in India vaccines reached Algeria on 1st February 2021 through Qatar Airlines. Another important area of cooperation with Algeria has been in the domain of space. The two sides not only had signed an agreement for cooperation in 2018 incorporating collaboration in science and technology and space applications, but India also launched several Algerian AI-SAT series of satellites, but has also helped in capacity building and trained their engineers practically at the launch and other phases. Earlier, India launched 4 satellites, 3 microsatellites, LSAT-1B, LSAT-2B, and LSAT-1N, and 1 nanosatellite for Algeria on 26th September 2016 under a commercial agreement by Indian launch vehicle PSLV C-35 from Sriharikota. The first ever joint committee meeting for implementation of the space cooperation agreement between the two countries was held virtually on 17th March 2022. One of the important agenda items discussed during the joint committee meeting was the request of Algerian Space Agency for capacity building and launching of their satellites. Counter-terrorism could be another significant area for cooperation. The new developments at the regional and international levels are also opening important avenues for cooperation and coordination of efforts between Algeria and India. Two important developments are to be mentioned in this regard. First, the inclusion of the African Union as a full member of the G20 at the initiative of the Indian government under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. The other is the re-emergence of the Global South through various initiatives, including the Voice of the Global South summits initiated by the Indian government, in which Algeria took part at the ministerial level. Such opportunities are offered while the collaboration and coordination of efforts between our countries at the multilateral level have always been exemplary. The two countries are working with other partners to further deepen our political engagement in the current turbulent international context and to give a new momentum to our bilateral cooperation, allowing to seize the previously mentioned opportunities in a spirit of mutual and balanced benefits in the interest of our friendly countries and peoples. We are also working to seize the opportunities offered in culture and people-to-people relations, which enhance mutual understanding and sustain the dynamics of bilateral relations in the long run. Algeria-India relations are bound to follow a growing trajectory in the coming years based on the respective political and economic situations and the fundamental elements of the current international conjunction. I take this opportunity to briefly introduce my company, IRCON International Limited. Our company is Government of India undertaking under the Ministry of Railways and granted Navratra status by the Government of India. IRCON is a leading turnkey construction company in the public sector, having more than 47 years experience in executing projects in India and abroad with the core competency in railways and highways. IRCON has presence in Algeria since 1984 and has completed 2 landmark projects from 84 to 88, and we are also executing presently a doubling project in railways. Thank you very much from bottom of my heart for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hari Mohan Gupta, Chairman and Managing Director of IRCON International Limited. Thank you, Mr. For your speech. You remind the historical relationship between Algeria and India, different sector of partnership between Algeria and India at different levels, and you provide some important information about Indian growing economy.